How's it going? Here's an organization, Alucard here, and yes, you have seen this shirt before. I'm recording this video on Sunday. I'll probably put it up on Wednesday. I just want to get this video out of the way, save it to the old hard drive because I'm going to do this off the top of my brain. I don't want to lose my train of thought here. Now, I've been watching Vice, and I like Vice. Vice is a very good news source. They do a lot of independent stuff. It's a fresh take on news. If you just watch mainstream news and you watch Vice, you're going to be in for quite a shock. But the reason I'm doing this video, as you can see from the title, I saw a documentary or a mini documentary, whatever you want to call it, on the Ku Klux Klan and how they, what's the word I'm looking for, brainwash, trick, or misuse people or misguide people into joining who were former military. Like, for example, there's this one guy who he was a former soldier who was in Afghanistan or wherever, and one of his people or officers or somebody he liked in the army got killed in the war by a Afghanistan person or Iraqi person or Middle Eastern person, a person of Middle Eastern descent. And for what he said that he really didn't have a racist bone in his body until that happened. So what they're doing is they're feeding on his fear, and he joined only because they let him join, only because he had a military background, and they're playing off of his fear. And then the other thing is, a lot of these people, they're very stupid. I want to say that they think that for some reason people don't have the same blood tissue or anything like that. They think that for some reason they're special when we're all equal as white people. Like, there was this one person. This shows the intelligence of his mind. He showed a SS flag. I think it was one of the Hitler things. And one of the things Hitler stood for, if you remember, the SS, those were like the special elite people, and those were for, the people who had blonde hair and blue eyes. And in Hitler's mind, even though he didn't have these qualities, he said that these were the dominant people, blah, 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 blah. Hitler was a little crazy himself, and, well, a lot crazy. And the person who was in the video, if you look at him, he's brown haired, sort of like black eyed or whatever. He doesn't even understand what he's representing or what he stands for. He stands for pretty much the killing of himself, because that was one of Hitler's things. You kill people who aren't that, the blonde hair, blue eyes. So if he was a part of Hitler or whatever, he would be one of those people that would be killed. But he's so stupid, he doesn't even know that. But then there's also this issue of gun control. And I know this gun control thing is kind of weird because you want people to have the freedom to bear arms. But here's the thing. Unlawful people are going to get a hold of guns. That's a fact. You can't, that's just something that's going to happen. I don't know why. I guess because gunmakers flood the market and blah, 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 or people buy guns for the other people. I don't know. But it's one thing to do that, and then it's another to sell guns to people who are experiencing post-traumatic stress. Like the same guy I was talking about from the Afghanistan war, he says that he doesn't even take his medicine anymore. So you're dealing with a unstable post-traumatic, I don't know what other mental disease that he's dealing with, that he's not even really dealing with. Let's just be honest. He's not dealing with it. The only thing he's doing is, from what he said, he's drinking beer and smoking. I don't know what he said. He's smoking. He just said, I'm smoking. So he's self-medicating off illegal drugs with post-traumatic stress disorder. Yet, this man can go into the store and still buy a registered firearm. Does that even make sense? We are giving people with mental issues, clear and present mental issues, the ability to buy guns. How can we even allow that? Because what's the main thing that happens when we have mass shootings? Is people with mental issues who go off on the deep end, and what do? They shoot massive crowds and they don't care whether it's black, white, whatever. Whether well, this guy will probably care or whatever, but it's just sad in America we allow things like that to happen, and then there's the other thing where they set up or whatever, and freedom of speech is one thing, but they set up in the middle of the road, and it's amazing that so many people support them, and it just shows that a lot of people still have that built-in racism for no reason. Like they probably never seen any black person or talked to a black person. They just hate black people because we're black. When really being born black is not something you control. It's genetics and where you're born. Easily one of them could have become black because when you're in your semen stage or whatever, you're in a penis or the ball sack or whatever. You don't know how you're being born. It's something that's ingrained, which is, I think Mr. Griffin said it best, or well, it was somebody who said racism is a mental disease, and these guys, they're just continuing on being mentally handicapped, and it just keeps spreading for no reason. And I guess the main thing of this is I was going through like the FBI's terrorism list, and you know, I'll leave a link to that in the description. The main people on the domestic terrorism list are people of Middle Eastern descent. Now, that's kind of weird because the KKK, they are the biggest domestic terrorists in America, and you would think, even though the people on the FBI list are, maybe or maybe not, they may be bad people or whatever. I don't know. I don't really follow this stuff. They should be on there, but the KKK members, they should be on there too because they have a massive history of doing domestic terrorism in America, and it's just been a history of it. And really, if you think about it, they are in a way worse than any gang because let's break this down. Gangs come together, and I've never been in a gang, but I've seen it and whatever. They come together because of where they're born. They come together because of a camaraderie, even though it's a criminal camaraderie. They come together because of being born there and trying to, I don't know, whatever. But they do that because they want to have some type of brotherhood or whatever. They want to be that. And where the KKK does it, they want to have the brotherhood, but they're not ganging. They're not coming together to do anything. And granted, gangs don't do anything productive either. But the only thing they want to do is harm other people, other races, and they're not on the terrorism list, which is awkward in one sense because it's basically like the government giving them a free pass to commit domestic terrorism, which I don't really understand because you can, it's not hard to find these people now that a lot of them don't wear the hoods anymore. They're free. I mean, not free, but they feel free to, just show their face and blah, 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 blah. I feel like they should be getting the same kind of crime things as gang members. I know gang members, like if you get caught with a red flag or a blue flag or a gang flag or blah blah, you can get 5 to 10 years. I feel as though these KKK members, not only should the grand members, like the high members, be put on the domestic terrorism list because let's be honest, they are domestic terrorists. They are probably willing to strike at a moment's notice because of something that you can't control. That's how mentally sick these people are. But their main people should be on the domestic terror list, and they should get no less than 25 to life just for being domestic terrorists and keeping this race baiting, this race baiting where we'll never come together. It's their fault in particularly, but also the lower level people should get the same treatment as a Crip gang member, a Blood gang member, a blah 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 gang member. You catch them wearing, hey, I am a KK member or I'm a blah 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 member. Hey, 5 years, I see you as a cop. 5 years, 10 years, you keep doing it. Hey, you're going to wait for life, and we don't have to deal with your scumbag ass because that's basically what they are. They're gang members. That's basically what they are. They're domestic terrorist gang members, and it's really appalling that these people aren't on like I said, the FBI terrorism list, because you got a lot of them who are mentally unstable, a lot of them who are former army veterans or whatever, who have a bias against people they don't know. Like, for example, the guy said he hates Muslim because a guy in Iraq killed his partner or whatever in Iraq, and he thinks that all Middle Eastern people are that one guy. That's his sick mind. Or somebody who says that I don't want black people raping me. That's a quote from I don't want black people raping my family. Now, I don't know what kind of mental issues these guys have, but obviously the government, and I know it might not step in, but they should. They need to get these people off of the street because they are a threat not only to African American lives, Muslim lives, Chinese, Japanese. They're a threat to all American lives because these are dangerous, mentally psychotic, unstable people. And before they even try to bowl up at the surface, especially with what's going on now, the government should strike now and say, hey, you fuckwads, you're going to jail right now. We don't care. And I mean, Vice already had a video of, I mean, they show the faces. It's nothing for the government or FBI to come and pick these guys up. So really, we need to pick these guys up. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to get out of here. I kind of ramble on, but, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. And if you're in the KKK, fuck you. I don't have guns, or do I? But you're sick, you need help, and I don't know what to say. You're mentally slow. You're mentally slow. I'll catch you guys later.